Hello and welcome to a sordid tale of rage, madness, neckbeards and betrayal. Today we'll be talking about the man, the myth, the legend Blobs, also known as Blobsio, Blobsky or Cutuso for his close friends. Why does he deserve a video, one might ask? Well, apart from boredom, I couldn't help but notice that quite a lot of people seem to hold a more or less intense dislike for Blobs. The state that seems justified. So in this video I will attempt to sum it all up and articulate everything that seems wrong with him. Please keep in mind that every information, footage or photograph featured thereafter is publicly available and abides the Section 107 of the Copyrights Act regarding fair use, since my purpose is first and foremost to inform and educate. At first, I thought about making this video follow a pattern of deadly sins. After all, Blobs is guilty of so many of them. But then, having realised the idea wasn't quite new, I have decided instead to structure it following classic British literature novels. I'm sure that Blobs, being an English gentleman of high IQ himself, would appreciate the thought. So, let us start with the first part. Great expectations. One cannot talk about Blobs, drama, or any of the events without context. For those unfamiliar with the man, though I doubt you are many, after all the ESO community is rather small and filled with hatred, Blobs is an Elder Scrolls Online YouTuber, streamer, and generally quite entertaining figure, the note in the way he intends it. Long story short, he's an established trader, owner of the Travelling Merchant, one of the biggest selling guilds on PCU, and long-time PvP player that had his start of darkness in spring 2016 when he decided to stream. His decision to stream ESO content happened to coincide with the departure of many NA streamers like King Richard and Lefty Lucy from the game, which left a vacuum for him to exploit and get easy views. That, and to be fair, there wasn't any other big EU streamer at the time. It also happened to match the timing of a trading war that happened between his guild and other Craglorn ones, but we'll talk more about that later.
Saipan is a joke. Saipan doesn't even count as a PvPer. I think my PvE build could be that guy.
Blobs always had an ego, as most self-proclaimed 1vx small-scaler players do, me included. It makes sense, you know? You put time and effort into this game, and you want to see your efforts pay off, right? The key difference is Blobs let his ego get to his head, which brings us to our next part. Pride and Prejudice. So there was Blobs pulling decent viewing numbers for ESO, numbers which are utterly insignificant in comparison with any other game out there, by the way, and he thinks to himself, this is it. This is what greatness looks like. Only you see, Blobs is not a confident speaker. Maybe he's shy, maybe he stumbles awkwardly upon words, who knows. At the end of the day, to palliate this, he scripts his intros and decides to adopt a high-speed aggressive stream persona, in his own words. Think Dr. Disrespect with slightly less charisma and skill. Making an aggressive, highly competitive stream is fine in and of itself. What raises eyebrows, however, is trying at the same time to be a shining beacon of light for the community to rally around, which is what he has tried to do time and time again.
Hopefully the community finally realises that I'm doing this in everyone's best interest. It helps the game. It gets people involved in the community. She's the sort of woman that, like, in one of those dating shows. And who's behind your curtain? And it, like, opens the curtain. I'm like, I'm not taking that. Give me the other one. I'm not having it. Aura is in one of my guilds. Void Ghost honestly might be as well. Oh man, this playlist is so good. Okay, Void Ghost was kicked. Nice.
You cannot insult PvE heroes, and well, actually anyone that kills you on stream. Call them scrubs, stream snipers, tell them to get laid, and God knows what else. And then tells us that you'll fix their game if they hire you, and that you're a force of good for the entire community to rally around the next. That's the duality of Blobs. You cannot present yourself as a glorious leader of the ESO community while at the same time treating it like shit, especially when they don't chant your praises every waking moment of the day. Blobs has quite an ego. It becomes pretty clear as soon as you watch any of his content.
I seriously reckon if I fight just two of those guys without NPCs, I'm gonna win.
You see, he has to be unique. He has to be a special snowflake in a world of ice. From clickbait titles to absolutely unique and savage builds he rehashes from his subs and other PvP players, everything he does reeks of an inflated sense of self-importance. And with ego often comes paranoia. Anyone who kills him in PvP suddenly becomes a stream sniper. Anyone that criticizes his content or asks if he's feeling comfortable crying about being zerged 1 minute and making 14-man groups to kill one single player the next becomes a mindless hater. To put it plainly, you either deep throat him or you shut the hell up, even if the comments you're trying to make are in good faith. Don't believe me? Try it. Try asking him any reasonable non-sycophantic question, and be prepared to be banned from his stream, ignored in-game, and for your comments to be deleted from his YouTube. His ego and paranoia are best evidenced by a recent drama where he was the unwilling comedic protagonist. You see, last week Blobs posted on his Discord server that his ESO files randomly disappeared from his computer. As such, he had to reinstall. One enterprising meme lord took this as an opportunity to make a meme, just photoshopping Blobs' account name on an access code send message. And somehow that meme alone caused Blobs to instantly think that his haters were somehow responsible for hacking into his account, as well as deleting ESO from his computer altogether. Somehow. Breathe in the flawless logic, comrades, for it's getting better. Naturally, Blobs goes and makes a forum thread, tagging every single ZOS dev out there and throwing in a massive panic fit, threatening to report the hackers to Interpol, go to the cyber police to report them for bullying. Completely reasonable and rational response to a meme, am I right? His comment about him having no issues with anyone brings us aptly to our next part, a study in Scarlet. You see, for all of his claims about being a chill dude, about having no issues with anyone except a select group of haters, the reality is quite different. Coming from a man who puts a streaming career before his relationship, link in the description down below, you may think this is not all surprising. After all, we all get a little mad sometimes. Blobs rages. He rages a lot. He rages on his friends, his subs, his chat, random players that kill him in Cyrodiil, Zenimax, just anything really.
Ben! Why are you so frustrating to play with? My fucking god. What the fuck are you doing, Alex, you twat? Why am I always alone?
Why are you always attacking the same people? Who
Because they're
cares?
zerging us down for the past 20 minutes, man. No, you little bastard, you jinxed this, you twats. Ah, that's your fault, chat.
So much for treating his community with respect. This clip is also a very good example of a true solo player attitude, namely cry for help whenever confronted with two enemies. Perhaps the funniest part of it all is Blobs trying to pass off his saltiness as sarcasm. If you bother watching his content, as anyone playing ESO should, for there's salt and memes aplenty there, you may notice that he claps every single time someone kills him.
Brilliant gameplay today has been witnessed.
Not kills, sorry, zergs. Because, of course, him getting killed by 3 or 4 PvE questing heroes in Brumo is a malicious attempt by stream sniping zergs to discredit him. As for the player that does nothing to others, he has on numerous occasions asked his fanbase to comment, shitpost or harass on his behalf, which is more than I can say for any other streamer. Or as he himself would say, if someone shits on me, I expect my fans to retaliate. Truly, this is an attitude of a live and let live friend of the community. Well, what about the fans, you may ask? Yes, what about these brave little soldiers taking up arms to defend Blobs from malicious haters? Personally, I'm a firm believer in that you can judge of a man by the company he keeps. So, let us look at Blobs' entourage, his 90s cliché TV series Cool Kids Club. Which brings us to our next part, a romance of lust. You cannot talk about Blobs without mentioning Shay. You knew this was coming. They're a package deal of sorts. Well, let us talk about Shay. Maybe we should start by mentioning that Shay is an ESO streamer himself, and whose content on its own is perhaps even more entertaining than Blobs. That, and he also happens to be one of Blobs' top donators. He has achieved ESO infamy, or well, as close to it as you can get in the past, by making drive-by shooting threats to people who found Blobs distasteful, posting pictures of his guns to prove his seriousness, and making rape threats that have since become a meme.
Did you manage to rape Casa yet, or is it that planned for next Gamescom? Well, probably next Gamescom. Well, I guess she wasn't there, so I couldn't rape her.
Oh, and let's not forget him bragging about sending malware too. In case you didn't notice, most of it was posted on Blobs' own Twitch chat and open Discord, and isn't it funny that you get the banhammer for asking about Blobs and Zergs, and rape threats and malware stay up until shit hits the fan days later? Note, this is also a man that's not afraid of push-ups, and who takes internet speed as a dick measuring contest. Keep in mind that if you kill Shay, Blobs will hunt you down with a Zerg. That's how deep the roots of their friendship go.
Cage in 3, 2, 1, now. Let's go.
Push the EPs, boys! Push the EPs up! Push the EP group, boys!
And what a friendship it is. Over its course, Shay has donated over £5,000 to Blobs' stream, not to mention loving, affectionate material gifts like new monitors and top top-of-the-line quality cleaning fluids. Only you see, there's trouble in paradise. You see, the money Blobs gets from his stream, well, he saves it to buy a house in real life. Such a manly pursuit, trying to become financially independent and providing a hearth and home for himself and his girlfriend, just like the alpha males of yore, going out hunting and gathering armed with their spears, so does Blobs go out there in the big scary world of the internet to fish for views and put food on the table. It is perhaps the only sensible decision he's made. And Shay doesn't like it very much. You see, what Shay wants is for Blobs to spend the money he earns on the stream, to entertain him day in and day out, to tap dance for him like a trained monkey in a zoo while he throws sweaty bills at him. What does that remind me of? Doesn't that give you Misery flashbacks? For those unfamiliar with Misery, it is a classic tale of an author that crashes his car on a road and is rescued by a woman that happens to like his books a little bit too much. So she chains him up, cuts up his leg so that he doesn't escape, and makes him write and write and write some more for her pleasure. See, that's why Shay stopped donating money to Blobs' stream and started gifting equipment instead. He wants Blobs to focus exclusively on the stream, on turning tricks for him at the expense of everything else. At first I thought it was funny, the rape threats, the guns, the push-ups, and to be fair I still do. Only, on top of finding it funny, I'm also beginning to think that Shay may yet legitimately be unhinged, and I can't help but feeling concerned. For now he's content merely screeching in an autistic fashion, and I mean autistic as in the actual syndrome, not as an insult.
Heal, 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 heal.
But his powerless rage can only last so long, and he does have access to firearms. There's only one way that story ends, and it won't be pretty. But speaking of Blobs' entourage, I would be remiss not to mention Vinther. Vinther? No idea how it's pronounced. Who, during that glorious trade war of summer 2016, has doxed people and insulted them on their social media sites to defend Blobs' honor as well as his own sinking guild. I could also mention any of his other subscribers, classy as always. This is what the ESO community truly needs. Sense and sensibility. Speaking of subscribers and professional aspirations, you may have noticed that Blobs has recently terminated his real-life employment to focus solely on the stream, putting in some big boy hours, as he'd say so himself. And so far, it seems to have paid off, right? Blobs is so very proud of his growing amount of subscribers. The thing that he neglects to mention, however, is that subscriber count does in no way imply growing fanbase, at least not when he's concerned. First of all, he counts his returning subs, the ones that renew their subscription, as new ones when they're the exact same people. And most importantly, when you look at the statistics, you may notice that rather than having different subscribers flocking in to watch as he decimates MCP200, it seems to be a select couple of people, only a few viewers with a lot of money to spend, that gift subs left and right, 20, 22, 26 sub gifts at each. What's a little cash in pursuit of greatness? As for his viewers, well, if you look at the list, you may notice that 30, 40 something names may sound familiar. They're usually the people that watch Blobs to clip it for the memes, or else laugh at him, not with him. Again, I'm in no way, shape or form trying to undermine his channel growth, or saying that he's lying about the numbers. He has his views and he has his subs. I'm merely attempting to show that, despite what he'd like you to believe, the entire community does not wish him well, or gather around his stream in unanimous love. It's only a select number of people that throw their money at other viewers, who may or may not care about the subs, to artificially push his sub count. My own friends have been gifted subs on their troll account, like Justice for Ben, and God knows they don't care for Blobs' streaming success at all. The greater glory. I think I ought to conclude this video by saying that first things first, I do watch his stream when I'm at work, because some of us choose to focus on real-life pursuits instead of streaming careers, and to be perfectly honest, I do not wish him to fail. I like internet bloodsport, and Blobs has proven to be a wealth of salt and entertainment, but please keep in mind that I didn't start it. I merely added a bit of fuel to the already existing bonfire of vanities that is Blobs. This isn't a hate video. I do not urge people to hate on Blobs. I merely consider myself to be a humble warrior for truth and justice, seeking to present the full picture. And if that picture happens to show Blobs in a less than stellar light, well, it's his own fault. In between his ego, the lies, the slander, the petty insults about real-life looks, which incidentally are hilarious coming from him, the exaggerated sub count, his passive approval of rape threats and shootings, there's plenty to talk about. And beyond that, I'm pretty indifferent to his success or failure at becoming a professional streamer. If anything, I think he's a wonderful addition to the USO community, and God knows it would be much less fun without him in it. I wish him wholeheartedly to succeed. Otherwise it would be a damn shame. He has sacrificed so much in pursuit of greatness. Financial independence, real-life employment and potential career. And well, there's only so long that his mother can provide him with YouTube legal advice, and his father can fix his PC and make him dinner. So yeah, I wish him the best and hope he continues to entertain us all for the months to come.